Most people hear the word karma and immediately think of mystical forces, invisible cosmic judges, or some magical reward and punishment system that activates after death. Karma is often treated like fate, destiny, or even a supernatural scoreboard that keeps track of every good and bad action. But when you strip away all mysticism, symbolism, and religious decoration, karma becomes something far more grounded, practical, and real. In its original meaning, karma simply means action. Nothing more, nothing less. It is not a divine system. It is not cosmic revenge. It is not destiny. It is the natural chain of cause and effect that unfolds through behavior, psychology, habits, and consequences. Every action you take changes something. It changes your environment, your relationships, your body, your mind, and your future options. When you speak harshly to someone, the immediate result might be tension, defensiveness, or conflict. When you consistently speak kindly, the result is often trust, openness, and stronger bonds. This is karma in its rawest form. Not a mystical force, but a pattern that emerges when actions meet reality. The world responds to what you do, and you respond back. Over time, this interaction shapes your life. Karma works not because the universe is keeping moral score, but because human beings are creatures of habit, psychology, and social feedback. What you repeatedly do becomes who you are. If you repeatedly act with anger, suspicion, and fear, your nervous system adapts to that state. You become tense. You interpret neutral situations as threats. You react faster with hostility. This changes how people treat you, which then reinforces your belief that the world is hostile. The loop continues. That loop is karma in action. On the other hand, if you repeatedly act with patience, clarity, and self-restraint, your nervous system learns calm. You begin to see more options in difficult situations. People respond differently to you. Conflicts de-escalate more easily. Opportunities appear more often. Again, not because the universe is rewarding you, but because your behavior has reshaped your inner state and your external conditions. One of the biggest misunderstandings about karma is the idea that bad things only happen to bad people and good things only happen to good people. Reality clearly contradicts this. Innocent people suffer. Dishonest people sometimes thrive. This alone shows that karma is not a moral vending machine. Karma does not promise fairness. It describes momentum. Actions create tendencies, not guaranteed outcomes. You can drive carefully and still get hit by a reckless driver. That doesn't cancel the value of careful driving. It simply shows that karma operates within a complex web of many forces interacting at once. Another important point is that karma is not only about what you do outwardly. It is also about what you repeat inwardly. Your thoughts train your attention. Your attention shapes your perception. Your perception influences your choices. If you habitually think in terms of lack, comparison, and resentment, your mind becomes trained to search for what is missing and unfair. Even when things go well, dissatisfaction follows. That dissatisfaction drives further actions, often impulsive or self-sabotaging. Again, no mysticism is needed here. This is basic psychological conditioning. From this perspective, karma is not about punishment. It is about learning. Every action teaches something to your nervous system. If you cheat and succeed once, your brain learns that cheating is an available option. If you lie and avoid consequences, your brain becomes more willing to lie again. If you face the truth even when it costs you something, your brain learns that integrity is survivable. Over time, these lessons solidify into character. Character then quietly determines the direction of your life far more than any single dramatic event. Karma also explains why change feels difficult. When a pattern has been repeated hundreds or thousands of times, it has momentum. You are not just changing one behavior, you are interrupting an entire chain of conditioned reactions. This is why people intellectually understand what is good for them, yet still struggle to act differently. The past is still moving through them. That is karma as momentum, not fate. Another layer of karma appears in relationships. If you repeatedly tolerate disrespect, you train others how to treat you. If you repeatedly disrespect others, you shape the tone of your social world. People adjust. Some withdraw. Some retaliate. Some imitate. Over time, the emotional climate around you begins to reflect the energy you regularly contribute. Again, nothing mystical. Just behavioral feedback operating at scale. Karma also operates biologically. How you eat today shapes your energy tomorrow. How you sleep this week shapes your mood next week. How you handle stress now reshapes your hormones, your immune system, and your long-term health. When people talk about paying later, this is not spiritual punishment. It is physiological karma. The body keeps adapting to what you repeatedly expose it to. One of the most empowering aspects of understanding karma without mysticism is that it removes fear and replaces it with responsibility. If karma is a supernatural judge, you can only hope for mercy. If karma is cause and effect, then change is always possible. The moment your actions change consistently, the direction of your life begins to change. Not instantly, not magically, but steadily and predictably. This also explains delayed effects. Some actions produce immediate results. Touch fire, feel pain. Other actions plant slow-moving seeds. Years of neglect slowly weaken health. Years of discipline quietly build skill. Years of emotional suppression can suddenly erupt as anxiety or burnout. People often call these moments bad karma, but in reality they are delayed consequences finally reaching the surface. Karma also doesn't care about your intentions as much as it cares about your patterns. You can intend to be calm, but if you repeatedly act in anger, the results will follow the anger. You can intend to be healthy, but if your daily habits contradict that intention, your body follows your habits, not your wishes. This is why self-honesty is central to breaking negative karmic loops. You must see what you repeatedly do, not just what you hope to be. Importantly, karma is not permanent. There is no fixed sentence. Patterns can be interrupted. But interruption requires awareness and sustained effort. A single good action does not erase years of harmful conditioning, just as a single bad action does not destroy a lifetime of care. What matters is the direction of repetition. Are you reinforcing the same loop, or are you slowly bending it in a new direction? From this grounded view, forgiveness also gains a new meaning. Forgiveness is not about canceling cosmic debt. It is about releasing a psychological loop. When you cling to resentment, you rehearse the harm again and again in your mind, keeping the nervous system locked in the past. Letting go does not excuse the act, it frees you from carrying its momentum forward. Even social systems reflect karma without mysticism. When corruption is normalized, it spreads because people adapt to the rules of survival within that system. When fairness is rewarded, it spreads for the same reason. Cultures, like individuals, accumulate behavioral momentum. Seen this way, karma is not something that happens to you. It is something you participate in every moment through what you repeat. Every word, every habit, every reaction subtly reshapes the field of forces that will meet you tomorrow. You are not judged by a hidden universe. You are shaped by your own continuity. This understanding strips karma of fear and replaces it with clarity. You are not trapped by invisible destiny. You are shaped by visible patterns. And patterns can always be changed, slowly, imperfectly, but genuinely. The real meaning of karma is not that the universe punishes or rewards you. The real meaning is that nothing you repeatedly do is neutral. Everything trains something. Everything moves something. And sooner or later, that movement meets you again. Thanks for watching. Our channel is new and needs your support. In our channel you can find many videos on the history and philosophical teachings of Buddhism. Please subscribe to our channel to support the teachings of Buddha on YouTube. You can download our app from Google Play. Get notifications daily quotes from Buddha, guided meditation methods, articles about Buddhist wisdom and sutras from Pali Canon. Discover inner peace, cultivate mindfulness, and unlock the infinite wisdom of the Buddha with this app. Download link below.